You're listening to the My Simplified Life podcast, and this is episode number 209. Welcome to the My Simplified Life podcast, a place where you will learn that your past and even your present don't define your future. Regardless of what stage of life you're in, I want you to feel inspired and encouraged to pursue your dreams, simplify your life, and start taking action today. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, and I'm excited to share my stories and life lessons with you while taking you on my own journey. This is My Simplified Life. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac. Today, I wanted to talk about something that I ask my clients to talk about, and specifically around my author clients, and that is why. Why did you write the book that you did? How did it come about? What happened in your life that correlates to the book? All of those questions are ones that I want to have answered by the authors that I interview or the ones that I hear interviews of. And so I thought that today I would share with you the why behind why I wrote How to Get on Podcasts. Just a reminder, it's out January 17th, and you can pre-order it wherever you love to buy books. So first, let's start about the number one easy reason why I wrote How to Get on Podcasts. I wanted to write a book. I am a big book lover, as you can tell. I have always been an avid reader ever since I remember in fourth grade. I had every Babysitter's Club book there was. I was constantly reading, and even today, I usually have at least one book going, sometimes two. That's the max, and I am always reading something, whether it's in my hands, on my Kindle, I'm always reading a book, and so I thought, I want to write a book, because to me, that's like the big deal. I don't have any aspirations to be an actress per se, but when I read a book, I want to see my name on that cover. That has been a big deal for me. So that's one reason. Another reason why I wrote How to Get on Podcasts was on another episode, I interviewed Jenny Nash. She is the book coach. She is the founder of Author Accelerator. And I had said to her, I want to write a book, but I don't know on what. I don't know where to start. And she said, start with what you know and what you're known for. And that was a simple, obviously, podcasts. This is what I am known for. There are other things that I considered writing a book on that I'm passionate about or that I have an opinion on, but that made complete sense. I could write a book on exactly what I know. People who know me know that it's natural. Why wouldn't I write a book on how to get on podcasts when that is literally what I do? It's what I eat, breathe, and sleep day in and day out for myself, for my clients. So that made complete sense. I also wrote this book because I want to make being a podcast guest accessible for everyone. It shouldn't simply be something that because you can afford to hire someone like myself, then you can get on a podcast and share your story. This is why the book has everything laid out in it. I had a conversation this morning. It was a medical conversation, and it was a video consult. And the guy said, "Oh, do you do something with podcasts?" Because he saw my book cover in the background. And I said, yes. And he said, well, so is your book like just how to get on one? And I said, no, it's so much more. It's not simply how to get on a podcast, but it's how do you create your speaking topics? How do you pitch? How do you research? How do you be a great guest? Then how do you repurpose into more marketing content? It has everything in one single place so that it doesn't matter who you are. If you can afford the $18 Kindle or you can afford the $24 hardcover, you have access to all of this at your fingertips. And I don't hold anything back. I give you everything that there is because I want to hear your story. And I feel like this really ties into my show as well. You know, your past and your present don't define your future. You do. And I want to hear those stories. I want to hear what you've overcome to get to where you are. I want to hear what journey did you take to become the person, to become the author, to become the successful business owner? What is it in your life that you did that you can share with the rest of us? And this is why I wrote the book. I want everyone to be able to share their stories on podcasts so that we can listen to them. I truly believe this, and this is a statement that is on my website. It is on every card I send to a client. It is on every card that went out with a galley copy of the book. Your voice can make a difference, and we are changing the world one voice at a time. Making a difference in the lives of those who listen to podcasts by inspiring, motivating, and educating them is huge. To build empathy for one another, to know what the struggles are that people are going through, to know that they can overcome whatever it is that they did, and that we can do that too. That's what's making a difference. And I feel that this book is going to make that difference. During a time where our world needs so much positive difference, this is when we need to hear the stories of other people. This is when you need to share your story. I want you to understand that when I say sharing your story is what makes a difference, it's also what brings people to you. And it's in being vulnerable and showing up who you are as you are without any reservations. That's also going to help you not only as a person, but in whatever you're doing for business. Because we connect with other human beings. I don't want to hear about your product and how fabulous it is, but what's the story behind why you invented this product or why you're selling this product or service, whatever it is. I want to hear that. I want to hear the truth. And when we share our truth, that is when we make a difference. When we show up as ourselves, that word authentic, when you simply share your story as it is, then that's what people want to hear. That's what draws them into you. And that is what is going to change your business, your book sales, whatever it is that you have going on the monetary side, it will be affected by you showing up and being truthful and sharing your story in the freest, most truthful way possible. Now, when it comes to the podcasting industry, there is no industry standards. There's no rhyme or reason. That's another big reason why I wrote the book. I want to set the standard. I want copy and paste pitches to be a thing of the past. Just as they get into the delete button of my file, I want people to take the time to really connect, to put themselves out there, but to also make it a give and take relationship. This is a collaboration, a partnership when you are guesting on someone's show. And I want those standards to be set. I want the standard, whether it is an individual person pitching themselves or an agency like mine, to not copy and paste, to actually listen to the show that they are pitching to. And I know this takes more work. I fully understand that it takes more time, but that's why we do it. I want to be able to connect with the host, just as I connect with my clients. And I feel this is so important to set that standard. And to me, it's a human standard. It shouldn't just be a podcast standard. We're all very busy, and I get that. And, we're running around in circles and so many things are going on, especially in the holiday season. But if we just stop to truly connect with another human being, we're again making a big difference in that person's life, in our lives, and it's going to take us so much further in whatever it is we do. I had a conversation yesterday with someone I now consider a very good friend. You'll be hearing from her soon too, in a couple weeks. And we took the time to sit on a Zoom and just talk and catch up for over an hour. And she had just gotten back from a trip with the most famous people in the entire world. And when you hear her interview in a couple of weeks, you will understand who I'm talking about right now. And she met with literally the most famous. You just name drop the first name and everybody knows who this one individual is. And I sat and I went, but now you're talking to me on a Zoom. And it's such a big deal to me that you would take out a time in your busy day, especially when you've just been surrounded by the most famous and incredible people in the world, that you talk to me. And it made me feel so special. And I believe that if we did that in our podcast pitches, then things would be very different as well. If we show up in our podcast interviews and we've done that homework and we connect with the host on that level, then life is going to be very different. It's going to bring you more genuine connections. It's going to bring greater collaborations. It's truly going to move the needle in so many ways. And I believe this wholeheartedly. And this is honestly why I wrote How to Get on Podcasts, because it's more than simply how to sell your product, your book, your service on an interview, how to get publicity. It's much, much more than that. And I want people who read this book to know that it is about so much more than simply getting that podcast interview. It can change your life and it can change the lives of the listeners. And I want the host's life to be changed too, to know that the show that they are producing week after week is valued and that you care about it as a person pitching themselves, that you appreciate what work and effort and money they put into their show. This is what's going to create standards in the industry, but also to make a difference in the world. And I really hope that How to Get on Podcasts makes a difference and creates an impact in the world. Thank you, friends, for listening. Remember to get your stories out there. Remember to please pre-order How to Get on Podcasts, available January 17th.